Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some exciting Warforged news that we've got to bring you today. And if you haven't seen the article, we're going to go over it and we're going to talk a little bit about our favorite mech using praying, diplomatic, railgun having warriors, which are the Tau. And as someone who played the Tau quite a bit in Dawn of War, Warhammer 40k, I'm excited to see them and did a little reading up about them. That they've got some really powerful guns that they can put up a fight when they need to, that they're trying to be diplomatic, sort of for the greater good, but no one's really all that good in the Warhammer 40k universe. But I'm just super excited to let everyone know, especially for folks who are maybe waiting for some for this first expansion to hit. And we know that we're going to be seeing it coming on March 21st. So they're really hitting us with all the news. When to expect it. It's March 11th as of my recording, and we know that they're going to be previews as well. And so we'll get to talk about that a little bit. But here you go. You've got a very nice poster child for the Tau here with their battle suit. So the Tau Empire is coming to Warforge. I don't know that Empire is the right word here, just because they're kind of in competition with the Empire. But I guess I don't know that much about Tau, lore, so that's definitely possible. There was a nice little reveal video, just kind of showing some of the graphics from the Tau battlefield that will be there when you're playing this faction. So that's really really exciting. I did want to talk a little bit and speculate a little bit on what the Tau are going to be bringing. So new faction, new mechanics, right? They're equipped with new traits and mechanics emulating the fighting doctrine they're famed for in both the novels and tabletop. Mark your targets to deliver a swift killing blow, unleash hordes of drones, or prime your is it cadres for Kion? Oh boy. What happens when we don't know all the Tau words and things like that. Leading the fight for the greater good, that I know. Requires superior reach and firepower, so the new warlords of the Tau Empire will not only command a fire warrior groups in battle, which I think are cadres, but also powerful squadrons of battlesuits and anti-grav vehicles. Strike your enemies from afar and control the flow of battle. So whether this means that the Tau are going to be kind of like a little bit more control oriented, maybe your railguns are picking off people, things like that. There's probably plenty to speculate about. Honestly, what I'm interested in is the anti-gravity vehicles, and I wonder if they will have some sort of mechanic for anti-gravity that could maybe affect flying units. Maybe that's a little bit too much of a stretch to put out there, but and I want to be clear, I have zero information about these cards coming out right now. But it's a little fun, a little spicy to think about what they could be bringing. So the Fire Warrior is kind of like that. Speaking of poster children, definitely the big star of the Tau, and of course their mechs. So whether the firepower translates to better ranged attack on all their units, maybe something where in terms of reach, maybe it does AoE damage, something like that with their artillery. Interested to see what they build for them, and I'm really hoping that the Tau, come in with some interesting mechanics. We do have a lot of these templates in Warhammer 40k Warpforge where, okay, for the orcs it does this, for the Space Marines this card does this, right? They're sort of like templated to kind of look like each other, but have these sort of slight variations. And I'm really hoping that Tau can kind of maybe follow a little bit of that mold, but kind of break that mold as well. I would say the most exciting part of this article is the card reveals. Some of your favorite content creators, pause there for a second, okay, will soon receive a few of the cards that will comprise the initial Tau Empire card collection. The new cards will be unveiled progressively as we approach the release date, so stay tuned to be in the know about what's coming in the game. I cannot say much here, but I will tell you, stay tuned. That's all I can say. We will be sharing that schedule. Keep an eye out. I love this graphic too, the battleship too. So this is all they can share at the moment, as in the past would be celebrating the new release with special rewards and in-game events, and Are you ready to lead the fight for the greater good, engage your battle suit, and prepare to launch? So I think what that means is, we've had these draft events for the new reinforcement drops. I imagine we'll have a similar draft incentive for the Tau. At least I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed for that. Again, just totally spitballing here, speculating. But why that would be even more important is that it's one thing to get 10 brand new cards for a faction. It's another thing to get a whole new faction in the game, right? So that means new campaign mode. That means new forge, right? And that you're building that core collection up from the ground. And so the idea of going into drafts and being able to hit your Tau packs is pretty attractive. Like, I definitely grinded a bit for the orcs, a little less so for the Tyrians because I was less into, I just knew like cracking the legendaries was going to take a while, and drafting at times can be a little tedious just if you get high rolled by certain decks. I've got 3 Makaris in my deck as by example always, but if it means that you get Tau packs or have a higher chance of getting Tau packs in your draft mode, it's probably going to be worth it. I imagine this also might mean some drops. Here's hoping. And then probably some, just like cosmetic packages, which they always have. And I know that, the biggest critique goes towards those, which I think is totally valid. But I'm hoping that there will also be some like maybe expansion packs that people can open up. And for those who really want to just like dive right into the faction as soon as it drops, I'm hoping we see some of that too. So there's definitely more to come, and as soon as I have more details, I will let you all know. But just know that we've got some really exciting things coming for the Tau, trying to forge their greater good through the galaxy here. And let me know in the comments what you think. Some of the mechanics could be, what you're most excited for, characters, and just different units that you're hoping to see. I, for one, just would love to see some really cool, like, mech vehicles and some interesting infantry cards. And honestly, I just think this is going to be a very exciting time to see what the design team does for a brand new faction in the game, right? And there are plenty of different factions within factions and all these different iterations of different armies and all of that. And I'm just really excited from a research and design standpoint to be like, how did they approach the Tau? Are they overtuned? Are they undertuned? Do they have unique mechanics? Are these kind of like variations of what we've already seen? It's just a really exciting time to be involved with Warpforge, and especially for the veteran players who've been around like myself since the alpha. I think just when we see these big new things coming up for the Warpforge news, it's very, very exciting. So that's all I got for you folks today, but just be on the lookout for more videos and more announcements this week as we get into, I guess, what we would call the preview season for the Tau army faction that is being added to Warpforge. So I will catch you all next time.